Alright, welcome back to the channel. Breaking away this episode from the Z650. Sometimes I just need to regain thoughts, sit down, do a bit more research of where I'm heading next, what I'm doing, how it's going, what parts I need to get. So sometimes it is nice just to break and stop, rather than just continuously go for it, so to say, because that's when I miss things, I forget things. Anybody that's done this obviously knows what I'm talking about. The next episode after this, we will be back into the engine. I need to get this done now. I'd say so far, I've done 100% everything myself. I've had no help. I've learned, I've read, I've done. The only help I've had now is a friend of a friend put me on to an engineer because I was struggling with the actual crankshaft shells, of whether mine are okay, whether they need to be replaced, what colour I need to get. A lot of the colours and sizes are now no longer available. I did have the suggestion a while ago of Plastigauge, but again I struggled with that. I ordered some, it never turned up. I reordered it again, it never turned up. In the end I gave up. I wasn't actually sure which grade of Plastigauge I need, because again there's different colours. I've seen reds, I've seen green, and I didn't really know, and it's really kind of out of my field of knowledge of what I've learnt so far. So as I say, cut a long story short, a friend of a friend knows an engineer. He's basically, I've given him the shells, he's measured the shells for me, and they are all within tolerance, which is what I wanted to know. So the person knows who he is, the friend of mine, so thank you very much, I really appreciate it. So the shells are fine, I can reuse the shells, which is fantastic news, so I can crack on from there. But that's the only outside help I've had so far. Sometimes you have to. As I say, I'm learning. I've said many times, these aren't how-tos, this is just a documentation of my travel through these different builds, the booster builds, the Z650. Learning as I go, reading the manuals, looking online, speaking to people. You know, I speak to as many people as I can online, a lot of the owners clubs, a lot of the forums. We exchange information, which is really great. Purpose of this video is, a while ago I said to you about upcoming projects and what I'm looking at. What I said to you before is going ahead. The Varadero will be coming in. I need to do a complete strip down on that, get everything, the wheel bearing sorted. It threw a wheel bearing a while ago. Well, I was probably thinking back, probably a year ago or so. A rear wheel bearing exploded. The video I put up of the state of it, it just came out in bits. Obviously I replaced the bearing, it's ran fine. I have been monitoring the state of the actual wheels. The wheels are starting to crack in the inside, so I'll probably be looking at replacement rims, front and rear. The bike, as you know, it's gone through 90,000 miles, so it's done so well. It's such a workhorse, it's great, it's been everywhere with me. That will still be coming up. Time wise, it depends on how long it takes me to finish the actual Z650 build. It was a possibility I was looking at getting the Z650 finished and then bringing the Varadero in. I really want to do the Varadero during the summer. Because obviously if the Z650 is finished, the booster's already finished. I do have the ST, but I don't like using it for work much because it's not that easy to split traffic on a bike that size. I manage it with a Varadero, but the ST is a lot bulkier. So the Varadero build will probably be in the summer. Again, it depends how long it's going to take me to finish this Z650. Hopefully I can get it knocked out in the next couple of months. I did tell you about I want to do a build Kawasaki based. I do have an old Z1000 J2 engine which runs. I know that's a good engine. It's been sitting in the corner of my garage for a while. Some of that will need to be stripped down and have a look at. I want to do something kind of old school but kind of butchered. So it's old with a modern twist. Similar to what you see on, if anybody's had a look on the forum on Facebook, Dave Solomon, Butcher Classics. Again, another guy I talked to, huge experience in Zs, not for the purists. Most of his Zs are Bandit based, Bandit 1200 engines. I won't be going that route because obviously I've still got a Z1000 engine. I had said to you I've been looking for a frame. I say I periodically look and see what bargains crop up. You have to grab bargains at the time of when they arise. If something crops up and you think, well, I don't need it yet, but down the line. So I've done that, and I'll show you in a second. I've got a frame, which is fantastic news. So I'll show you the upcoming project in a second. I say that's sitting under wraps at the moment, under covers, but a lot of it is going to be built from stuff that I already have existing. Well, some of it was left over from the old Street Fighter build, if you remember that, the Kawasaki Street Fighter build I was doing, that obviously had to go, financial issues at the time, the money had to be poured into the booster. Obviously we're now a year and a half, nearly 2 years further down the line. I've managed to recoup a bit of money. Obviously I get help with my patrons, so again, big shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for all the support and help you give me. It means so much. You really do help me. It helps with the little bits, the paint, the sandpaper, all the accessory bits that I need. So obviously now I'm further down the line. Financially it's a little bit better for me, but I'll show you what I've got now. I'll say the actual frame turned up during the week. The engine was just sitting on a stand, so I've actually managed to lay the engine down just for now, slide the frame over, perfect fit, which is great. I do still have some parts left from the Street Fighter build. I sold quite a fair bit, which obviously went into the booster. I'll pull this off in a minute. I don't want to keep you in suspense that too much longer. I've got some ideas. I do want your opinions. I do want your feedback. I know most people are going to say at the end of the day, it's your decision. Obviously the bike was originally, or is, the frame is actually a twin shock. I can go down that route, or I can go single-sided swing arm. I do still have, if you remember the old VFR swing arm that I polished up. Unfortunately with this size frame that actually won't fit. That's actually a 242mm on the pivot. Anybody that's got Z1000s knows they're 235. So I'll show you what I mean. Right, so let's unwrap this. And there it is. I say this lump was already mine anyway. That's the Z1000 J2 engine. But that's the frame. I still have the, if you remember, the ZX9R front wheel. That was from a B4. I don't have the forks, obviously they were sold. I still have the VFR wheel and all the hub. if you can see down the back there, that is actually a single-sided swing arm from a Hawk, almost like a Bros, and it does fit. It's a 235mm pivot, fits perfectly. And you can do a conversion from the Hawk hub to the VFR wheel, but that will be the next build. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't have anymore. Obviously I have no bodywork. I have got an idea for some bodywork, but I don't know if it'll work or not. I've still got the carburetors, I've still got all the cases. I don't have the starter motor, I don't have any wiring. But as I say, it's do I go single-sided? Obviously then I'm going to have to go monoshock. Or do I keep it kind of traditional and maybe stick a modern alloy swing arm in that is twin shock? But that's what I mean. I'd like to know your opinions and your thoughts. There's plenty of time on this one. This is not going to happen for some time. I just wanted to give you an idea of what I've actually got, what I'm looking at. Obviously the wheel will be painted. I say it was painted obviously before because that was sort of like the colour scheme I was going with. But say the actual rim's fine, the discs were brand new. I've still obviously kept those. So that'll be a painted wheel. ZX9RB4 forks, yokes. I need to do a stem change. As with the rear, I'll show you what I mean. Right, so that is the Hawk single-sided swing arm. As you can see, that fits in there nicely. But again, unsure. Need to check the clearance on this because it is quite, it touches up there, but it's going to be here roughly, so. Or it's, I kind of like the idea of this, but obviously it's whether I can work out and weld the actual mount for the shock. Like I say, you can actually do the hub conversion. I've got the details already. Seems to be a fairly easy process where you can convert the hub to actually take the VFR 750 rear wheel. Or do I kind of keep it traditional old school with the twin shocks? Would look nice twin shocked, I must admit. Bodywork wise, I've got some ideas at the moment. This frame may need adjusting in places. Probably this plate will need to come out. But a good base with a fair amount of parts still in the garage. Obviously, as you remember, well, here was obviously my toolbox. I've had to have a major change round. Toolboxes are now on this side. It's made it a lot easier and freed up quite a lot of space. 3 bikes outside now. Obviously Z's still on the ABBA stand. Next thing I want to do with the Z is actually get it off the ABBA stand and onto a similar stand to this, because it does sit on it nicely. I do have another one tucked up in the corner, so that I'll do that off camera. It's just literally taking it off the ABBA stand and sticking it onto an identical stand to that. It makes it a lot easier, because obviously when I want to get the engine into the frame, obviously the ABBA stand, as you can see there, it uses the swing arm pivot, where the stand I've got, you've got free access to get to the pivot. The engine's there, you can work on it, it's easier. So I'll be transferring that over probably before the next video, and then, as I say, all that lot will be uncovered, and then we can get back on the engine, get that built and get it back in the bike, which will be really nice. But as I say, it was just a step aside at the moment and have a look at this. The frame was a really good price. I was pleased with the price. I say, when bargains come along, you have to kind of snap them up. So there will be some modifications going on to the frame. Again, it all depends on the bodywork. I'm kind of toying with some ideas at the moment, but nothing concrete. But as soon as I know, I'll let you know. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think? I know it's another project, and I haven't finished the previous project, but sometimes you have to grab these projects when they come up. If they come up at the right price, you grab them. They sit aside and you work on them whenever you can. Depending on the length of time it takes me to actually get the Z650, depending on the time of year, obviously the Z650's got to go through paint yet. The engine's got to be finished. I'm going to crack on with the engine in the next episode. Hopefully the paint is on its way. That should be here quite soon, so back into paint. As I stated before, I'm actually going back to as close to the original Candy Emerald Green as I can, so it's going to be a challenging paint job to do. But again, it's all experience, it's all trying, it's all learning, so that should be quite fun. Recapping back onto timelines, as it depends how long it takes me to do the Z650. If the Z650 is finished before the spring, I'll more than likely start this Z1000 project. I really ideally want to take the Varadero off the road, as I said, in the summer, because I then have other summer bikes. The Busa, I don't tend to take that out in the winter. The Z650 will be ready, the Busa will be ready. So the Busa's been laid up over the winter. It hasn't started, it hasn't moved, it's just been covered up and sat. So at least I've got a couple of bikes then to actually use to get to work it back, etc. And then the Varadero can come off. So it may be a switch in sort of schedule. Again, it's all down to time, so we'll see how that goes. But let me know your thoughts on the Z1000 project. I'm open to any ideas. I've got, as I say, I've got some ideas floating around in my head. It'll be nice to sort of get that one done and see what that comes out like. So that, again, another challenge, another project, exciting. So let me know your feedback in the comments box below. But that just about wraps this one up. As I say, it was a step aside from Z. Sometimes it's nice onto another Z. I say I do lean towards Kawasaki's. I probably wouldn't mind actually doing another Z650 later on, but it won't be back to an original. Again, that'll be modified in some way, shape or form. So I mean, maybe that could be an idea for the Hawk rear end, to actually put a single-sided swing arm and monoshock on a Z650. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments box below. these parts don't go to waste, they do get reused. If I don't need them, then I put them on my eBay, which I showed you a while ago, and I sell them off. So, as I say, that's where I am at the moment. Next episode, as I say, back on the engine. Links to other videos top left and top right, and join me again next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.